guys, welcome back to Sound of Manchester. This is your host Prathamesh along with Anurag and Kushagra. It was a very good performance against Everton by Manchester United at Goodison Park, but there's still a lot of questions about United and a lot of things that have happened over the last week or so that we are going to discuss today. So, coming to the first topic, guys, and coming to first things first about Everton, because we finally got 3 points in the Premier League. Our away record seems good. So, just opening the floor to that. How do you feel, guys, about it, Kushagra?
Uh, I was overall, of course, cannot not be happy, right? Cannot be unhappy about that result. Desperately needed victory. If you look at the away record that Manchester United have had, I think in the last 10 away matches in the Premier League, United have gotten 26 points, which is fantastic. 8 wins and 2 draws. So you can't really complain in that sense. Away record has been good, and even in
Our
the
best
even
away record in the PL era.
yeah. I think they've broken that record, right? 7 consecutive
Yeah.
wins now. So yeah, I mean, I remember we were talking about it last evening actually. And so all in all, a good performance in terms of the result. How far was I convinced or impressed by the team selection and by the play by the team? That is very very questionable. I think we'll get on to that after Anurag tells us about his views as well. But overall, I cannot not be happy, man. So yeah, 3 points, and the cycle of Manchester United goes on.
Yep, I think you pretty much put it quite aptly there. The cycle of Manchester United goes on. It's again a roller coaster ride. You don't know which team is going to turn up, what kind of a performance is going to come from this team. And honestly, I think, uh, I think I'm at that point where even if the last time I really was happy with the United performance was those games against Paris and Leipzig. That's when you saw some life in the team. That's when you saw some really intent in the team. Besides those two games, you look at all the fixtures that we played in the new season that started in September, something, whatever. So I haven't seen that particular intent at least once in the Premier League. And not to say again yesterday, it's great that we have a player of Bruno's quality who can not just lift himself but lift another 10 people up with him. And that is a sort of player that we've lacked so very badly in the last 7-8 years since Sir Alex Ferguson left. And we see time and again he's chipping in with those goals, chipping in with those contributions. And the second goal, which was meant to be for Rashford's header, he got that goal, and not many can say he didn't deserve it. He absolutely did. And when he was on a hat trick, and I think he wasn't really in for an open shot. I think, but again, he didn't go for it. He didn't even attempt for it. He wanted to set up Cavani for his first goal, which was great. Cavani off the mark, with Telles coming back, and if Cavani can get some more games, that could be a little interesting. But again, I don't see any progress. I don't see anything happening. It's just a box ticked. I mean, just one box ticked, and that doesn't really get you satisfied.
Yeah, and also I was wearing this jersey last night, the Solskjaer jersey, just because I felt this was going to be his last game. I just wanted to, dedicate that last game towards Solskjaer. It doesn't seem that way though now.
Could have been, yeah, very much could have been.
It could have been, but thankfully, or otherwise, I think it didn't turn out to be his last game. But he did rant excessively yesterday. I think it was after the game. I think he even wanted to before the game. He just controlled himself. But after the game, he ranted very much about the scheduling, which I don't know how I feel about it, because I think as a Manchester United player, you have to do this. You have to be, you know, extra motivated. You need to have an extra bit of energy to play these games, travel long distances, etc. But considering the season that we have had, I mean, we have been playing every midweek since the international break. Also, teams like Liverpool, Man City are playing on a Sunday after playing on a Tuesday, and we played on Wednesday night across the continent to Turkey, traveled back across the continent, reached Thursday morning early around 5 a.m., and then Saturday 12:30 lunchtime kickoff was a little, they could have done something about it. I felt, the Premier League authorities, considering the season, the current season, it would have been just to even at least change the kickoff time, if not at 12:30, probably a 6:30 kickoff. Even that would have worked pretty well for United. But that was about Ole. Yeah,
Prathamesh, the television rights thing has taken,
yeah,
it's taken so much control over the Premier League and all these English football, especially and Champions League. If you remember when the draw was happening, there was some doubt over why Manchester United. I don't remember. I think it was United who were not able to be placed in a particular group. I cannot really remember the incident, and that happened apparently. I don't know if it's United or some other team, but they're not able to get placed in another group because of some sort of television right
yeah.
issues,
There
because
was
their
one group
games
because of that.
something like that.
Yeah,
I mean, it has come to that extent where even groups are being decided according to how when the game should be telecasted. I mean, uh, I know it's important. The commercialization and everything is important, but there is after a point there should be some mercy shown to the players as well. Come on, man. I mean, it's very harsh of all the traveling and everything. I think, yeah, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was well within his rights, because when he was a player, it was not this intense back in the day.
yeah.
No,
Wasn't.
I don't know. I mean, so yeah, yeah. While I agree with Solskjaer in the sense that it was quite how do I say? It's quite pathetic in that sense that the scheduling is so unprofessional with respect to the players, and with respect, you almost see this in no other sport, right? So
Yeah,
everywhere else,
Yeah,
the whole concept of giving players the adequate amount of rest is absolutely vital. But once again, when we think about this, Manchester, I just feel like the rhetoric that Ole Solskjaer has come out with over the last few press conferences, and especially yesterday's post-match press conference, I don't understand his point. Almost every club is going through the same thing. He keeps
yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Yeah, I
pardon
was
my
about to mention
words,
that.
but he keeps bullshitting all of us about no fans. It is so difficult mentally,
yeah.
so difficult physically for the players. Honestly, buddy, grow up, pair. Seriously, everyone is playing in front of the same conditions.
Look
No
at how
one.
Leeds are playing.
No,
No matter
forget
the results, no matter the
forget
results.
Leeds. Forget Leeds, dude.
Look at
There are
their energy.
19 other teams in the division. Everyone's playing in this with the same conditions. No one has fans. Why is he constantly crying about it? No other manager is coming out and crying about it. Why is he crying about it? Just because your team is 15th, you're crying about it. And frankly, I've never had such strong opinions on Ole Solskjaer. But yesterday, I absolutely lost my shit when I saw Van de Beek on the bench, and the fact that he did not even get a single minute. I don't know whose whose house has he robbed, or whose brother has he killed, or whose mother has he called out. I don't know, right? I do not know what the fuck is happening with Van de Beek, because this is just preposterous from Ole Solskjaer. It's ridiculous, and all of that bullshit that he came out with yesterday, it just looked fake. That
Yeah.
anger looked fake. That all of that looked staged to me.
I think
I'm
the way he
sure
looked.
I'm sure
Yeah,
he's irritated about the scheduling, but
yeah.
it's all staged, bro.
I think he just wanted to do something about the fact that
He just
United actually
wanted the narrative to change. He
played
just
on the
wanted
counter and we
he
somehow
just
won the
wanted the
game.
narrative to
Yeah,
change, basically. Yes.
exactly. Yeah, I,
Yeah.
I
So
think that narrative was going to be used regardless of the result. Had United lost, that narrative
had
was going to
United
be
lost, there
used.
would have been no
Yeah,
narrative. He wouldn't be in the job right now had United lost. That is for sure. And Ole Solskjaer will get sacked. It's not a question of if. It's not a question of if. It's a question of when. He will get sacked. Without doubt, he will get sacked. There are reasons why he'll get sacked. And I never wanted him to get sacked, but there are reasons. His team selection is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Why was Juan Mata playing yesterday? Can either of you explain that to me? I mean, that is beyond me.
no,
What was
I
his
don't think it
contribution
did.
in
Yeah,
the
I
match?
don't think it did
His
anything. I mean,
only contribution in the match was to let Digne, and who was playing on the left? Bernard, right?
Bernard. Yeah,
Bernard and Digne, he let them
Bernard, yeah.
go. Van Bissaka constantly was getting two tame.
yeah,
He was getting, he had Bernard here, Digne going across, or Digne here, Bernard going across, and that's how you can see the first goal, right? I know
yeah,
Lindelof is at fault. I know probably Van Bissaka should have done better. Maybe De Gea could have moved a little quicker, whatever. But the problem is your right winger, who's supposed to fall back, who's supposed to track back, is not tracking back.
yeah.
And and उससे बेहतर तो यार डैन जेम्स खिला दो यार.
हाँ,
At least he can
आदमी
run.
आदमी खड़ा करना है, भगाना
I
ही
don't
Dan James को
understand. If you
खिलाना
want a body, you're
है.
right. You're right, Pratmesh. If you just want a body there, what contribution does Juan Mata have? I know he played that little ball into Luke Shaw when Luke Shaw crossed it for Bruno's header. But really, anyone could have played that ball. There was nothing really
Besides
interesting
that, nah.
about that
Yeah,
ball.
nothing
I
magical
don't
about it,
get
right?
it. He slows us down, and the penetration he provides is only in team versus teams like Newcastle, Norwich, and the likes, because he is suited for that slow game now. No team plays that slow.
Yeah,
I don't understand Solskjaer, dude. I
yeah.
don't understand why McTominay keeps starting and starting and starting and starting. I don't know. And what is his problem with Van de Beek?
God only knows what the problem is. So I think coming
He'll
to
get sacked. He'll get sacked, boys. I'm telling you, he will get sacked. It's just a matter of time.
coming to right what you were talking about. We did try a diamond formation also recently, and that diamond worked for a game, worked for a couple of games. But then that diamond got found out against Arsenal.
A game and a half, to be honest.
That
Yeah.
diamond, that diamond plus our defensive frailties, the lack of leadership, etc., got founded at Başakşehir. When our last man, Nemanja Matic, was inside the Başakşehir half, and Dembaba, watching Dembaba and Nemanja Matic in that race was like watching two people crawl into a goal. It was like who is going to be even more slower to lose that battle. That is what that was about. So guys, what do you feel about the formations? I mean, now yesterday it was clearly a 4-2-3-1, but again that diamond which worked one game and we felt okay, diamond is the solution. The diamond wasn't the solution against Arsenal, definitely not against Bashak Shehir. So how do you guys feel about the diamond formation, or whether the 4-2-3-1, or does Ole, at the end of the day, does it matter, because all Ole wants to do is sit back and play on the counter?
I don't know. I think
See,
Anurag
one
should take
thing,
this.
yeah, see, diamond is not really a solution in the first place, and the diamond came into picture because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't get the players that he wanted. And this is just a fan thing to say. The next thing,
Yeah.
yesterday watching Jadon Sancho, I felt okay, fine. It's sort of like for a second or two, I just gave myself that feeling that it's okay, it didn't come. But again,
Oh, I was glad.
I
I was
don't,
glad
you
after
know what I
watching
mean.
yesterday.
But yeah, uh,
You know, you
no,
know,
I'm just that's a fan
Anurag,
reaction.
Anurag.
I'm
As soon as
making
you
it
carry
clear.
on,
Yeah, yeah,
just a stat so that you can add
yeah.
to what you're saying. United in 1920 season, United ranked 20th in terms of the teams that attacked from the right hand side flank.
Wow, that's the stat of the day or the year, or
In
start of
terms of
basically a
your
stat that shows
consistency
United's
of
God,
right
man.
wing.
consistency of attack, United had the most lopsided attack in the Premier League. Still finished third. Still did not give your manager the right winger you needed.
That's
That is my problem. See, I mean, last point. I know, I'm
yeah,
hogging the time here, but
yeah, it's
you
alright.
don't
Yeah,
give him the tools. Okay, then you only let it out in the media that we are talking to Pochettino. You undermine the manager. You
yeah,
made a mockery out of him. He has
yeah.
protected you this entire time, saying कि नहीं 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 board मेरा साथ दे रहा है, board मेरा साथ दे रहा है. He has protected you. Now he's going to pay the price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anurag.
Yeah, see, again, this is the same thing, the 4-2-3-1, which for that brief period when Greenwood, Martial, Rashford were clicking so well, and Bruno was so perfect in that attacking midfield role. The 4-2-3-1 seemed like with the double midfield pivot and everything, it seemed so perfect. Uh, if anyone at that point thought a diamond would come into picture, especially with respect to United's team, I think that guy would be a millionaire if anyone had guessed that. Because and that came into picture only to add that squad depth. Because if you play that if you play that way, you'll have a little more strength on the bench, you'll have more players to push out, and we have a few more options in the midfield, and maybe that really helps. But again, we look Thomas part again, man, he just pocketed us that day. It felt so bad. And again, Basak share of all the teams, what they just sat back, and the number of passing that happened, that's not the sort of control which people were saying midfield में चार लोग खिलाओगे तो possession रहेगा, control रहेगा. अरे यार हटो यार, ये just the amount every time in the 92nd minute. uh you know I don't know who was playing on the right, side. I think it was Rashford. I think for a moment he
Yeah,
found
Rashford
on,
played.
on, on the left side. And He was one-on-one with a defender. He was not really sure of penetrating through him. He went back to the midfield. The midfielder passed it back to De Gea. This was in the 92nd minute. And when we were 1-2 down, do you think a Sadio Mane would have done that? Do you think Neymar would have done that? If you want to be one of the best left-sided players in the world, you have to take on, especially in crunch moments like that, when you're literal izzat, when you're about to win some unknown team like Basaksehir is about to pull your pants down, you still can't put up that bravery to just go past. That's insane, man. I think that speaks about the team. There's so much. I think if anyone who understands football watch that game, they'll be so frustrated the amount of useless passing. I really don't want 1,000 passes in a game if that is the way you are going to play. It's
No, no,
so
I
stupid.
don't think it's
I,
about the thousand
I
passes.
really hated it.
Yeah, I don't think it's
We
about
didn't
the
even
thousand
play,
passes at
obviously.
all. Yeah.
It's stupid. You get my point, right? It's just
Yeah.
stupid. It's nonsensical passing all just sideways either se udhar. It's like everyone wants to get that passing percentage up.
Yeah,
It's useless, nonsensical football that day, and
It,
that was
yeah,
all
and then
the joy that we got out of PSG. And
yeah,
this thing it just went down that game
and then
yesterday.
and then someone like Matic will put
Again
out a
playing on
post
the
about
counter
his
from
passing
that day to again
percentage.
contrasting. We don't know what football play. Yeah, exactly. We don't know what football we are playing right now. So again, that is, and for people who want Nagelsmann, people who want Pochettino is going
I
to
don't
bring back that
understand
old
how
Jose,
a United
long
fans so
balls.
naive. I don't understand how a United
I know
fans so naive.
exactly. Yeah, I think Kushagra will give a very, very much wider perspective about Pochettino. But at least what I've definitely seen of Nagelsmann, he 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 had a particular formation with Leipzig last season when he lost Timo Werner. When he, uh, I think when he had some injured, Konate was injured for a while. When defense was a little shaken, he instantly switches back to a back three, and it becomes very defensive again. Nagelsmann is a horses for courses.
Yeah.
Sort of a manager. And who else is like that? There is a particular man named Ole Gunnar Solskjaer who pretty much does the same. I really don't see much of a difference. He's also young. The fact that he started young, a fact that he did quite decently with a mediocre club like I'm sorry, not
Hoffenheim, yeah,
mediocre, but a mid-table club like Hoffenheim. He did well with that. He's getting all the limelight. He's not the person. If there is any person I've really been impressed, unfortunately at this point in time, there is you look at all the managers available who are also in job. Klopp and Pep Guardiola, they're not going anywhere. The good managers are not going anywhere. You see, there is absolutely no one who's really like, अब चलो इसको अगर लाएंगे तो एक अच्छा quality football मिलेगा plus results आएगा. I really don't see anyone. Maybe to a certain extent, I really like Marco Rose for a personal reason, but again, he's won nothing.
And yeah,
It'll be a
it's not.
huge
I mean,
gamble to
it'll be
bring
too much
someone
of a
like
risk,
him
isn't
to
it?
yeah.
United.
So
Rose
so so
asking.
Yeah,
what
exactly, exactly. Yeah, it's too much of a risk.
about Max Allegri? Do you guys like him? Like,
What about?
I Max Allegri.
Pratmesh. He did not.
Yesterday the agenda got floated that United might bring Max Allegri in because Pogba is there. Pogba won trophies with
Oh
Allegri,
God,
and
bro. Paul Pogba
I
can
was
get
like,
out of my club, bro.
how many
Seriously.
things like kaha hai
No.
chabi bhai? How many keys are
No, no, no,
going
no.
to try to unlock Pogba? What's the sense in trying to unlock Pogba?
Nothing,
You can
bro.
easily
Nothing, nothing. Leave it, leave it.
sell him for 40 million, sell him for 50 million, send him out, do whatever what you want. But you have good players. You saw,
He's wasted his 4 years
By the
at
way,
yeah,
by the
United.
way,
He's
by the
wasted
way, guys.
United's time as well.
By the way, guys,
Hmm.
I mean, pata hai, whosoever says ki we'll get Max Allegri so that he can unlock Paul
oh,
Pogba probably doesn't really understand what they're talking about because Max Allegri only coached Paul Pogba for a season and a half at Juve. The rest 2.5 seasons was Conte. So
yeah,
what? Now next we're gonna wait for
Yeah.
Inter to sack Conte now? I don't get it. Like, okay,
yeah,
let's just get back to this. Paul Pogba, Paul Pogba, frankly, doesn't deserve to be at Manchester United. He's not good enough to get a move to Real Madrid either. We will end up selling him for 50, 60 million pounds, probably to Juventus, maybe to Madrid if they're ready or taken off. And that's how it's gonna go. As far as the managers are concerned, my point was why are United fans so naive? I don't understand this. This was the same scenario when Jose came. This was the same scenario when LVG came. This was the same scenario when Ole came. You know, you have managers, they are able to achieve something. LVG got a fourth, right? Spot.
FA Cup also,
And a
yeah,
fourth and then an FA Cup, right?
yeah,
So that was his something. Jose got two trophies in the first season and then a second, and then he fucked up. That
which
was
which I
his.
feel was an achievement. I know people will
Yeah,
disagree,
of
but I
course,
feel
of
it was an
course.
achievement.
ठीक है, we are all entitled to our opinions. We came second in a one horse race. It's fine. But क्या बोलते हैं?
Yeah.
Then then what? What was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
when you put it
Ole
that way,
Solskjaer.
it's an entirely different thing.
Yes, we came second in a one horse race. We lost by
Yeah,
record
Literally,
points.
that's
yeah,
19 points. We came
that's
second
true.
by.
I think City were
obviously.
just
Okay,
crazy
so
that
we were
season.
never. We just came first amongst the others. Okay,
Hmm.
Yeah, we were the
we
best of the
were
rest.
very
Yeah,
much the going to current opinion. We were very much the Kamala Harris to their Joe Biden. Okay, very much so. Probably lower. Okay, probably her husband, Kamala Harris's husband, in terms of priority. Okay, so yeah, whosoever it.
we lost 270 US seats today, Kushagra.
It's okay. I was never getting
Who
any.
watches football in US, bro? It's ignore. They're too busy with
Exactly.
their NBAs and NFLs, and who
So,
care?
so
They don't even
yeah.
care.
Yeah,
So
I mean, we have a place.
the point being, you talk about all of these managers, all of these fancy managers like Pochettino, Nagelsmann. So Nagelsmann, as Anurag was saying, Nagelsmann is a very, very how to say adaptive coach. He's very, very good when it comes to adapting to
Yeah,
his team's strengths. Nagelsmann's coached, I'm sure Premier League fans will remember players like Serge Gnabry and Reece Nelson, who's currently at Arsenal as well. Andre
yeah,
Kramaric, who used to be at Leicester. I don't know if people remember.
oh yeah,
The fantastic striker for
yeah.
Hoffenheim now. So all of these players have gone through the Hoffenheim system, and Nagelsmann was their coach. Kemir Bay, I don't know if you guys have heard his name. Kemir
Emir
Bay,
Bhai, yeah, yeah, yeah,
number
yeah,
10, the number 10 at Hoffenheim. I think he's moved to Bayer Leverkusen now.
yeah,
And he had some fantastic players of Hoffenheim, and he overachieved. I think he finished in the Champions League places once. Now
yeah.
with
Where they
Leipzig,
lost to Liverpool.
yes, but now they're now with Leipzig. I think they lost in the qualifiers, right?
Yeah, they
I
lost
think
in the
they lost. That was the
qualifiers.
last season of the qualifiers, and they lost in the qualifiers.
Yeah,
So and now that they're with Leipzig, last season was fantastic for him because he had a great team. This season, up until that United game, they were having a very very good season. But still, their over dependence on Timo Werner, the fact that they lost Patrick Schick, and also that
yeah,
they've had a few players injured, has meant that this sort of the train has come to a grinding halt as of now. But I'm
yeah,
sure he'll be able to manage it and manage a top four finish again. Don't think they're good enough to win the league. I don't think anyone in Germany is good enough, as we saw yesterday as well.
yeah.
Bayern could have won 4 or 5, or similarly, Dortmund could have easily scored 3, maybe 4.
I
So
mean, I still cry over why we did not sign Haaland.
oh,
That
dude,
guy's
like, okay,
pace
okay.
and everything else.
Forget it.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
God. There are so many players, Prathamesh, we can talk about, like this. But so
20
all of
million,
There
that,
were
20
three
million.
in that Dortmund unit which we were so heavily linked with. There is
Yeah,
Bellingham, there is Haaland, there is Sancho. Everyone slapped right across our face in the last
they
6 months.
see,
It's fine.
yeah.
Dortmund have been Ole's kryptonite, dude. So yeah, so that's the thing, right? I think Vatska and Ole were like mortal
You know
enemies
how
in a martial
Dortmund have
art.
been. I'll tell you how Dortmund have been. Yeah, Dortmund have been. There was an uncle in my childhood who used to, like, when I was very small, he used to call me, "Arey yaar, chocolate dunga, idhar aja, idhar aja." When I used to come close,
Chutya
he used to
katte
take
the.
me and he used to give me one slap. Yeah, he used to give me
Oh,
one slap.
I
Anurag has
That's
hope
what
you
such
only
Dortmund
got
have been
wonderful
slapped
doing to
once,
stories.
United.
bro. Because if you got
Anurag has
slapped more
such
than
wonderful
once,
stories, right? One the last time he went
thrice.
without a
3 times,
bulb.
yeah.
What an idiot! Why did you go again the other 2 times?
That maybe Anurag had the foresight to not
I
do
have
that
great
again.
stories.
The others did,
Epics,
yeah.
some epic shit happened with me, and I can make it into some great stories. So it's fine. I have a
Oh
lot more
yeah.
of them.
तीन जफर.
Yeah.
We can write a book on how United and Anurag's life is like exactly the same.
So yeah, and just the last point on Pochettino. So that is Nagelsmann, right? Nagelsmann adapts to the players that he has, and he's trying to adapt to the players that
That's still fine.
RB Leipzig have had.
Yeah.
But guys, always understand at Hoffenheim he had a fantastic director of football. At
Oh yeah.
RB Leipzig he has a fantastic director of football. He's got people who know their football. Have you seen Leipzig's recruitment? It's one of the best recruitments in the world,
Let's check.
in terms of young players. Even Haaland was a product of the Red Bull setup with Salzburg.
Yeah.
Had Dortmund not gotten him, I'm sure he
Yeah,
would have come in as Timo Werner's replacement this summer. I'm 100% sure.
absolutely. I think, yeah,
Dortmund just moved
yeah.
quicker and got him in January.
Yeah.
That was the only thing. Had he not gone there, he would have come to RB Leipzig in the summer, and he would have been doing these things for Leipzig. So we cannot. I mean, I don't think Nagelsmann can even work at United, because why will he work with Ed Woodward? Like, I mean, how? Because I mean,
Yeah.
Ed Woodward's a retard. He's a turd. And and then when you talk about Maurizio Pochettino, I don't understand where the glorification of Maurizio Pochettino comes from. He's equally as boring as Jose.
Yeah.
He
I think.
is. He is. He's so what he likes. He likes incredibly quick fullbacks. Plays with no
Yeah.
width. Is incredibly stubborn with his team selections and his substitutions. Is as much of a antagonistic manager as Jose Mourinho. Can behave like a prima donna. And there are a lot of things. I know. I agree. He builds young players. I agree. He can embody Manchester United spirit and soul. And that Sir Alex has called him out as to be his true successor in
Oh
the
my
Premier
God.
League and all of that. Okay, fine, that's fantastic. But Sir Alex also chose David Moyes. So I mean,
Yeah.
so
No, not exactly Sir Alex's best judgment, but then
so I
you
don't
got to
know,
give the
यार.
benefit of doubt.
I don't know, यार. मतलब द थिंग इज पोचेटिनो आ जाए यार, पर प्रॉब्लम क्या है ना यार गाइस, कि हम लोग 2 साल बाद फिर वही होंगे फिर. यार अगर
Exactly.
उसने अच्छा कर भी लिया ना, मैं डाउट नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मतलब आई एम नॉट सेइंग फॉर श्योर ही विल टॉप. अगर वो अच्छा कर भी लेगा ना, उसको
He
बैक भी
will get the
करेंगे.
results. He will get the results. He'll
यार
get better
अनुराग थर्ड
results.
आएगी तो
But again, it's the style of football.
इस स्क्वाड के साथ बेस्ट अपन थर्ड आएंगे. फिर से थर्ड
Yeah.
आएंगे,
Yeah.
फिर से वो प्लेयर साइन नहीं करेगा इसके लिए, फिर से वो उसका बैड स्टार्ट होगा, फिर
Third
अपन
plus
उसको
boring
बैक कर
football.
देंगे. तो क्या
Yeah.
फायदा है, मतलब ये राउंड एंड राउंड एंड राउंड एंड राउंड एंड राउंड एंड सर्कल्स, क्या फायदा है, क्या व्हाट आर वी ट्राइंग टू डू.
That's. I
Yeah,
don't think
there are
anybody
so
has an
many
answer.
divisions in the United fan base
Tired
right
यार,
now.
I'm
See,
just
yeah,
tired, dude.
exactly. Yeah, there are so many fan bases right now inside United setup. Like some people believe this thing, some people still want Ole to be in, some people absolutely hate the face of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and
Oh
some people
my.
who've absolutely hated Jose Mourinho. There are so many different fan bases, and all these people who said Jose was not my manager because he did not play the football that United plays. These are I can show 100 faces who said this, and now they are like absolutely sucking up to Pochettino. What's the point? I mean, do you guys even watch football? I really don't understand. The only reason people hated Jose Mourinho, one of the major reasons, was the style of football. And you are gonna hate on Pochettino. It's a matter of 1 year. It's a matter of 1 year
यार मुझे ये
since
बताओ
after
कि
the point he
मतलब if
comes in.
Pochettino
Kushagre
is.
is already asleep.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
asleep, dude. I'm saying if Pochettino is such a great manager who brings players together, why did his players turn on him?
Yeah, they didn't just turn on him. I don't know whether the
They
players
stopped
turned
playing for
on
him,
him.
dude.
Yeah, they stopped playing for him in the sense that I remember watching the documentary, and
Arey, forget the
when he
documentary.
was
We
saying,
saw the season, dude.
yeah, he was saying that the house was already on fire.
Hmm.
I think he said in Spanish, Pochettino, that the house is on fire, and people like to put more fire into it. But that is what happened, right? After, and
I
even
think
when
I
they
think
finished,
it was it was
but
it was to do with Daniel Levy also, because he
yeah,
didn't back him properly. But
Mm.
still,
but then
yeah,
again, see, even
आप
when they
Champions
reached the
League
Champions
final
League
पहुंचे हो,
final,
build on it.
but then the season when they reached the Champions League final, they were pathetic in the second half of the Premier League. They were absolutely pathetic, and we don't want a manager who's going to do one tournament well, one tournament not so well. That is not what we are looking for. In that case, even Ole is in a good position right now. So then, what is the whole
हाँ,
point of getting
मतलब
Pochettino if you are
लीग
not
कप
going to
जीत लो काफी है.
if you are not getting a structure in place?
Yeah.
I think the structure is more important. So I think that is something that's majorly missing at the club. We do not have people who understand football on a more logical sense. It's all हवे में सोच के कुछ ऐसा image बना के रखा है कि this guy will bring us glory, this the fans, this guy
Yeah.
probably is more the media guy, attractor of attraction.
Peter Drury in the last 3-4 games he's been using this one line a lot. He's gone and kicked fresh air. That's what we are doing right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
yesterday it happened with Ducour,
yeah,
right?
absolute. Oh, Ducore
Yeah,
Fitness.
That could have scored.
I
He could
really
have
love that
Talking
scored.
guy. Yeah,
talking about Drury, and one last thing that we should discuss today. We did kick out the diamond, but we did have a diamond in our
we
team
only had
yesterday,
one
Bruno
diamond in the
Fernandes.
team.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna
are
come
we?
that come to that. Let's
Yeah.
end
So
the
my
maybe on a
yeah.
positive note.
Let's end it on a
On a
positive
good
note,
note,
plus a
yeah.
question, like a genuine question. If I'm Bruno Fernandes and the kind of player which Bruno Fernandes is, at the end of the day, if United keep doing these things, if United keep doing these things consistently, whether it be managers, whether it be the structure of football, etc., 2 years down the line, won't Bruno
Yeah,
Fernandes
the point we are
probably think
reiterating the
that
same points.
why am I here?
That's a sad thing about this club.
Why am I here? Shouldn't Bruno Fernandes feel that at the end of the
Yeah,
season?
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Matlab, why will
I
he
hope
stick
he
around
doesn't.
if
I
I am
hope he doesn't.
Bruno? Yeah, carry on, bro. Carry on.
No, I just said why will he not? Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
the
if
only
I
thing.
am Bruno and if someone like Bayern Munich coming for me or Barcelona 2 years down the
Uh,
line, if they were been able to restructure or Real Madrid or Juventus, why will I not go? I don't
Bro,
understand. Like
I can't even imagine Bruno at Bayern, bro. Already
why?
इतना bomb squad है उनको. My God, I can't even imagine that.
भाई क्यों
oh,
यार ट्रॉफी
and
जीतना किसको बुरा लगता है यार
yeah,
Yeah, obviously.
exactly.
I mean,
and
yeah.
Having
I'm telling in the
Lewandowski,
sense
believe
Gnabry,
me
and
he's
how
Sane.
much
good
more
enough to
better
play
they'll
for
get.
Bayern. He's good enough to play for any
Any
team in
team,
the world.
any team in the
Good
world.
enough.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
the thing.
absolutely.
That's the thing. आपके पास एक बंदा है. आपके पास एक बंदा है. कल अच्छा just a point for our viewers that I'm sure a lot of them must have heard this, but the statements that he came out with after the match yesterday, it's just I mean I remember telling these guys, man crush on Bruno. I mean he just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper, right? Like it's just he becomes bigger, the crush on him. He comes out and says, yeah, the goal that I set up for Cavani, my hat trick doesn't matter. He's a striker, It matters that he scores, that his confidence is up. And when the presenter asks him about, there could have been a faintest of touches of Marcus Rashford. Bruno goes like, if it is Rashford's goal, it is Rashford's goal. I don't care, no problem for me. I'm happy to, I'm here to serve the attackers as the number 10. I'm not here to take the
Yeah.
glory. Most important thing was we won. I don't understand why that refrigerator still has our armband, bro. Still, I
Truly, bro.
don't. I know he had a decent game in the second half. I
Yeah.
don't agree with the fact that he was good in the first half. I think he was very shaky. And also,
Oh,
I don't understand why is Lindelof going for headers against Dominic Calvert-Lewin when you've got a 6'4" Sand there for doing nothing.
man, I don't even understand his English in the interviews, to be honest. If that's what he's brought to do.
What? No, no one
He's just
does.
a
It's okay.
slightly better Phil Jones in terms of talking, bro.
No one does.
So yeah, let's just end
अरे,
this here before we get.
Bruno is like yeah,
कल
just
आके
a
क्या
small
बोलता है कल आके क्या बोलता
reference here
है लास्ट थिंग
for
अनुराग
those
अनुराग
of
बिफोर
the
यू
for people who watch The Crown. Yeah, for
हाँ
people who
बोल
watch The
बोल बोल
Crown,
बोल
Bruno is like the Tommy Lascelles. Bruno is like the Tommy Lascelles to the entire empire. He is going to serve loyally and he's going to do absolutely anything for the betterment without expecting anything. He's that sort of a guy, man. I mean, why
एंड
can't you
कल
can't
आके हमारा
just not love
कप्तान
him
साहब बोलते हैं कि
if he's your player?
हाँ कल आके हमारे कप्तान साहब बोलते हैं कि यार हम लोग को बारे में इतना क्रिटिसिज्म होता है बिकॉज वी आर द बिगेस्ट क्लब इन द वर्ल्ड
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
एंड वी शुड रियलाइज इट मैंने कहा, साले तेरे को 1.5 साल हो गया है अब रियलाइज हो रहा है तेरे को जब 75,000 फैंस थे स्टेडियम में हर रोज तब रियलाइज नहीं हो पाया तेरे को इतना सब हारने हराने के बाद ग्रीस जाके वहां चोट बचाने के बाद तेरे को अब रियलाइज हुआ
yeah, yeah. So let's just end it on a positive note, saying that
On end
probably
on a positive note.
yeah. Just we
Bruno
have
is
one diamond.
magnificent. We love
Yeah,
him.
we
Yeah.
have one diamond. Let's make
yeah
sure that at one diamond stays amongst
let
this
it
He's
not let it
so-called
protected.
not stay in the
yeah.
rough, right?
Let
I think
yeah.
we've got
Let's
one
keep
diamond.
Yeah.
shining the diamond with whatever rough
They
pearls
say
that we
diamonds
have
don't
because
rust,
we need
but
the
we
diamond to
can.
stay with us.
The
Yeah,
United team can.
No,
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
just sell off our diamonds. It's okay.
Yeah, we'll
We do
sell
that
off our
every day.
Yeah.
yeah. So let's just end on a positive note probably. So yeah, thank you guys, thank you for tuning in to Sound of Manchester. This was good conversation with you guys, and a good roundup to what happened with United over the last week or so. And we will keep posting about what will happen next week, because now there are international matches breaks. There's absolutely nothing that is related to United that's going to happen. But still, we're going to be there in the media with Pochettino, with Solskjaer, with his comments, with the Premier League scheduling, and probably another transfer rumor might just come up regarding Pogba, regarding Allegri moving, and so a lot of things will happen about United in the next 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, the media would run out of business, and so will we. So we will try to stay hooked to all of that, and give our opinion on those things as well, and keep supporting us at Sound of Manchester, and looking forward to stay with you guys.